All right, so now let me ask you this. So what are the biggest, so what you're talking about is a transition from manual, from what I call analog to digital, right? You're talking about the migration from data, from manually gathering that data to automatically assembling it and using tech to do that. So as a salesperson who spends his life talking to developers who are old crones like me, most of them, I've got no doubt, who I've got no idea how to use the simplest of technologies, which maybe is even their phone, not that those are simple. What are the biggest challenges that you have in selling this idea to sponsors? Because it's probably very similar to my challenge, selling digital marketing to sponsors as well. What are the challenges you come across?
Well, first off, I think you have to give yourself far more credit. Here we are hosting a podcast, and you were telling me earlier about your new high-speed internet. So you are ahead of the curve. So give credit where credit is due. I think the real estate industry has been slow to adopt technology. I think we all realize that. And up until very recently, whether you think this is version 2.0, 4.0, or 10.0 on kind of tech and real estate, up until recently, there was no real catalyst or no real impetus for change. Well, the good news is, real estate is catching up with the rest of the world, and adoption is happening. And it's happening at a rate that is still behind other sectors, but at a much faster rate than it's happened in the past. So part of this is just like the systemic challenges that exist in our industry, especially for developers, as many of your listeners will appreciate. Businesses were built by kicking the tires, walking the dirt, shaking hands, back of napkin analysis, trusted relationships. Well, the reality is all of those things still exist, but now you have this new thing, data, which is really powerful. And it turns out that it can be a competitive advantage if you can use it, or it can be a competitive disadvantage if you don't use it. So the biggest challenge that we have to get people to change, obviously doing nothing is a number one reason you don't buy software. It's status quo is okay. But it's really ensuring that our customer, our prospect at the time, understands that we are the best at what we do, the same way that we understand that they are the best at what they do. So I would never go to a developer and suggest that we can be a better developer or do better site selection or get better entitlements than they can. And they also can get benefit and satisfaction from understanding that we are a software company, and we've been doing this longer than any other software company, hyper-focused on this space. And so it's that same trust, it's that same relationship, it's that same partnership that is really important to make sure that we instill in each one of our customers, because ultimately, people don't like doing things that they know very little about. And there is a massive information asymmetry. We know 100 times more about software than our customers do. So at some point, what we really encourage our customers to do is not necessarily underwrite the technology, because they don't know how. They have to underwrite the company, they have to underwrite the team, and they have to underwrite the outcomes. And the best way to do that is not by talking to a salesperson. Yes, you have to learn from myself and my team, and I would argue we have the most honest, genuine, qualified team in the business. But you also need to talk to your peers. And so we have over 800 customers and over $1 trillion of real estate being managed on our software today. So the best way for a developer to see if they can get comfortable with software is talk to other developers who are using that software.